Hello everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson. Here's a look at what's going on this week in the news. We begin with news from around the world. In the Ukraine, protests are continuing against the Ukrainian president, with at least 3 protesters dying within the past week in the capital city of Kiev. Pope Francis is offering his prayers for Ukrainians, particularly for those who lost their lives in the last few days and for their families. Speaking after the Angelus in St. Peter's Square on Sunday, the Pope said he hoped a constructive dialogue could be developed between institutions and civil society while avoiding any more violence. The demonstrations in Kiev's Independence Square are aiming for closer ties to Europe, an end to government corruption, and a greater respect for human rights. In news from around the country, San Francisco continued a nationwide week of defending the unborn with its 10th annual Walk for Life West Coast. Tens of thousands of marchers gathered in the downtown area January 25th for the largest pro-life gathering on the West Coast. The Walk for Life began with a noontime rally at Civic Center Plaza, and then the participants marched for 2 miles behind a banner declaring abortion hurts women. Each year, the walk is held on the Saturday closest to the anniversary of Roe v. Wade. The first West Coast Walk for Life, held in 2005, had 7,000 participants. Now there are over 50,000 participating in the walk. 16 bishops, including Cardinal William Leveda, former San Francisco Archbishop and retired prefect of the Vatican Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, celebrated a Walk for Life Mass with San Francisco Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone at St. Mary's Cathedral prior to the event. Looking now at news from the Vatican, Pope Francis held an ecumenical prayer service at the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, marking the end of the week of prayer for Christian unity. During the service, the Pope said that while Christian unity is a gift from God, it does not drop from the sky, but rather it is given to the followers of Christ step by step as they walk together and work together. Catholic News Service has more.
Cristo non può essere diviso. Questa certezza deve incoraggiarci e sostenerci a proseguire con umiltà e con fiducia nel cammino verso il ristabilimento della piena unità visibile tra tutti i credenti di Cristo. Mi piace pensare in questo momento all'opera del Beato Giovanni XXIII e del Beato Giovanni Paolo II. Entrambi maturarono lungo il proprio percorso di vita la consapevolezza di quanto fosse urgente la causa dell'unità e una volta eletti a vescovi di Roma hanno guidato con decisione l'intero gregge cattolico sulle strade del cammino ecumenico. L'opera di questi pontefici ha fatto sì che la dimensione del dialogo ecumenico sia diventata un aspetto essenziale del ministero del Vescovo di Roma, tanto che oggi non si comprenderebbe pienamente il servizio pretino senza includervi questa apertura al dialogo con tutti i credenti in Cristo.
In attendance at the service were Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox, Anglican, Lutheran, Methodist, and other Christian representatives. This was Pope Francis's first Christian Unity Week as Pope. In news now from Rome, a relic of Blessed John Paul II has been stolen from a chapel 85 miles east of Rome. Italian media reported Monday that a piece of fabric soaked in Blessed John Paul II's blood had disappeared over the weekend from the church of San Pietro della Lanca, where Blessed John Paul often prayed during his brief vacations. One of the volunteer caretakers discovered the bars on one of the windows had been sawed through, and both the relic and a cross were missing. The local military police searched the surrounding woods with dogs in case the thieves had discarded the relic there. Blessed John Paul's personal secretary during his pontificate gave the relic to the chapel in recognition of the late Pope's many visits. The fabric was reportedly soaked in Blessed John Paul II's blood following the attempt to assassinate him in 1981. And finally in the news, during a meeting with Cardinal Angelo Amato, prefect of the Congregation of Saints' Causes, Pope Francis advanced the sainthood causes of 8 candidates. Of those 8 candidates, 7 were recognized for their heroic virtues and declared venerable. One of the 7 was Mother Marie-Anne-Marcelle Mallet, the founder of the Sisters of Charity of Quebec. Mother Mallet founded the Sisters of Charity with 5 other sisters in 1849. The institute, dedicated to the care of children, the sick, and the elderly, operates today in Canada, the United States, Japan, Paraguay, Argentina, and Congo. The Pope also recognized the martyrdom of Father Pedro Asua Mendia, a Basque priest and architect killed during the Spanish Civil War. This clears the way for his beatification. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. I'm Kevin Nelson. Don't forget, you can keep up to date on Catholic news throughout the week with Catholic Newsbreak right here on the Catholic TV Network.